My poetry, well, it's brilliant, and I like to think it's well received. People really like my poetry, and yeah, it's a good expression of how I feel in everyday life. It's punchy and it's gritty and it's really truthful, and it hurts people.
There's another one in line, and for every hurt there's more peace of mind, and for every time you feel like you've got this, there's a brand new way that you've gone and fucked it. For every new love there's a new load of bullshit, and every bit of heart once loved someone. That's why they suck, and lonely souls can feel comforted knowing their loneliness is felt in good company. Day, there's more good in your future. Forget your mistakes, cause they'll bite you either way. This day might be your last, but who wants that kind of pressure? Just be grateful that you didn't burn today's breakfast.
Egg, giver of life. Egg, we all come from the sperm of an egg. I am the sperm of an egg. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Exactly. Exciting. Extravagant. Exercise. Exceptional. Exaggerate. Explosive. Are you an excellent poet? Or are your poems excrement?
The performance of the sea creature, it's really crazy, and he's not really in the poem, and I feel like his the way he live affects his poem, and it's really crazy. And for majority of the people, I don't think people would accept this kind of way.
But I didn't understand anything that was going on. He's going egg and smashing things, and I thought he was a lunatic. Actually, I thought he was escaped from some asylum or something.
Well, he was definitely very interesting, quite rude. I don't know, it felt a little bit directed at Mary.
Is it an interpretation art?
She comes from Risdon, a less salubrious neighbourhood. Her self-published poetry is completely crap.
There was a lot of things that I didn't expect. Certainly an egotistical maniac throwing eggs was a surprise.
He was well behaved on that day.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that is frightening. Yeah, look, I mean, I don't know whether that man is just a massive egotistical wanker, or I don't know, didn't get enough love as a child maybe, and you know, it's just a little boy in a grown man's body crying out for attention.
Any other theories?
No, I think I nailed it with that one.
Well, I am to be reading next, but as pointed out by Sea Creature and Trotsky, it's unethical, both politically and socially, to promote yourself. So I introduce Trotsky.
Thank you, comrade. This poem is political. It got rejected because it is political and won't be published. It is about the Spanish Revolution and how the Marxists were defeated, not by Franco, but by the anarchists and the communists and the social democrats and eventually the fascists. I hate fascists and Nazis and right-wingers, even moderates who want to listen to both sides of the story. They only read from one page, and that is Tory. The revolution is coming, and all the rednecks will be running, and anyone not wearing black and smiling will be rounded up, arrested and re-educated. As what is there to smile about, eh? And if you don't agree with me 100%, you are a fascist Nazi scum who should burn in hell. Peace, brothers and sisters, thank you.
I must admit it was quite intense, not what I would usually go to see. Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
Trotsky, I don't relate into this kind of political thing, so I'm not really interested in this kind of poems.
Very divisive.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
divisive.
It is. People who agree with him would be very like about that. But on the other hand, if people don't care about the politics, I don't think people would accept this kind of poems.
It's like they're shoving it down our throat.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And sometimes I don't. In my way, I would not accept this kind of poems.
Yes, intense little fellow. Just look, political poetry's not my thing. You know, I can't deny that I probably just switched off a little bit during his performance.
And it doesn't help when he shoves it down your throat.
I just feel like it's somebody ranting their own agenda.
Yeah, and not poetry.
No, not at all.
Do you know how he died? I think an ice pick would have suited him better. You know, an ice pick on the back of the head, somewhere in South America. Should have got him as well. That was drivel. I would consider that drivel. I think you saw me walk out, didn't you? I don't know why you've got me back here. I walked out for a reason.
Thank you, Trotsky. Well, we now have performance poet Mary Shell to do a couple of poems. Oh, apparently she's won many poetry slams, and she's published 4 sellout books, self-published, I must add, self-published. And she's promised not to do anything too commercial. Is Mary Shell your literary pen name?
I was actually born Mary Shell, unlike your name.
Really? My name's great. Mary Shell, everybody.
Yeah!
Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I'm really sorry about the first act. Look, he's a little bit unstable, but yeah, look, we just try and support him as much as possible. And thank you for that really gracious introduction. I have self-published, yeah, and I'm proud. But you know what, I'm feeling kind of inspired by that first experience to read a poem that I think I'll start with this one. Let's have a look. I think quite a few of us can relate to this one. Those who are from a working background, who do work for a living, and sometimes have to work for the man. It's called Working the Floor. Look but don't touch. You don't scare me, you big brute. I bounce around full of bubble and couldn't care less. Welcome. Take a seat. Would you like some drinks to start with? I feel myself being watched. Oh, I guess I am on show. I work the floor. Hope you enjoyed your meal. Tip me. I am being watched. It's the boss talking to me with his eyes on my tits. I give him a piece of my mind. The chef, marry me, I'll buy you a car. Why do you not like me? I'll buy you a car. I can't drive. The son's one son, big guy, well-rounded, teases me, I tease him back. I catch him staring, thinking, oh, you want me some of that. I said, don't touch. The wife, my stomach's full of pain, I swear to God, it's bad. I give her the sympathy that she craves. I'm tired. I clean, I sweep floors, I shine glass, I restock fridges. I smile, laugh, act witchy retorts, sympathise. I feel sick. I'm withered, I cannot smile. Thanks.
Mary Shell. Well, where do I start with Mary Shell? Well, she's a complete sellout. She has a job. So she's not a serious poet or a serious artist. And we needed certain things to move ahead with our amazing project, and she's going to be used.
What colour lipstick is that?
That's amazing. Yes, the second one. I'm sorry. Yeah. Here we go.
Okay, we're back. Quiet, please. Quiet. You. Quiet. Well, would anyone else like to get up and read? No? Well, now that you've all read, I will read mine. This is about poets and artists who haven't sold out, and those that have sold out, but not about anyone in particular. You must feel smug how people buy your books and come to your shows, even though self-publishing is so on the nose. You might read well, and your books might sell, but you are not a real poet. You're working class, have a day job, and to me, you blow it. You have not crafted your art like me, writing powered by a bottle. You sold out to the mainstream, full throttle. Good night. Sea creature, Trotsky. It's always good to get your work out to the masses, and that's what I'm expecting from this documentary. I'm sure it will be very popular. People are going to love us.
It's about the arts. It's about the poetry. It's about the collective of the arts and the poetry. Thus, the clue is in the name, Arts Poetry Collective.
Well, the Poetry Collective consists of a number of poets. We've had changing membership over the time that I've been a member of the collective. So the core membership is myself and HYENA and Sea Creature.
Also, I've been on the fringe of this poetry collective for a year and a half now, and I think of those guys as my friends, but I don't think they see me as a friend. I'm the guy they call at 5 minutes before the show. Oh, somebody's dropped out. Can you come and do a couple of poems, or can you read something, or can you carry these boxes?
Arts grant application. So this is our cash cow. We filled this out for a grant. Money.
Absolutely.
Money.
Now, what money?
For our collective.
To qualify for the grant, it's for new coming actors and existing actors and artists to work together. Poems, lots of poems, or one really long one adapted for the stage. But we need the input of a published author.
Oh, well, we're
the signature.
serious artists,
Yeah.
poets and writers. We haven't sold out.
No.
So we don't qualify.
No, not alone.
No.
Not alone. But we are
Not
one
at
piece.
all.
We are the new, and we need the input of established artists to qualify. So the missing piece is here tonight. That's why I've invited Mary Shell.
Right.
Mary!
We have to talk to you about it. Arts grant.
That's right. Now, Mary, one of the reasons I've asked you here is we have this arts application, and we need you to give our proposal a bit of credibility and to qualify.
Oh, well, thanks for inviting me. For a shit ton of money, I've written one of these before. I enjoy making these. These are great. Thanks. All right.
It's hard to say whether it's a better situation where they don't really understand what's going on, or whether they have more of a capacity to understand, because then there's more an opportunity for resistance, and that seems to be their natural state of being.
And so sometimes we invite certain individuals into the group who we think that we can utilise for our benefit. There's nothing wrong with that. They don't have a great deal of credibility in my mind, but they're trying, so I would like to be supportive to that, but they're just full of shit, you know? The more I talk to them, the more I realise that there's nothing going on.
It was a slow, painful and methodical process, but I've been involved with them for some time, and I anticipated that their state of mind would continue to degenerate as the evening wore on, and it's not something that I've had to tackle before. So I knew the mention of money would certainly get through all of that fog.
I need guidance again. Guidance.
Trying to make money out of art again, perhaps?
You always know.
Greed knows you as you are greed. But you will need some help, some fresh ideas for you to profit from.
Yes. Fresh ideas. New ideas. Someone else's ideas, yes. So we should accept input from an outsider.
And incorporate them into your collective, your project, your group, your money, of course. Listen, copy, use, and then diminish the outsider.
Listen, copy and use. And diminish. Diminish the outsider, yes. When we've finished, I finish with them. Only when I finish with them.
You had a similar idea anyway.
I did. I had a similar idea anyway.
But watch your every step. Look beside you, in front and behind. Do not trust anybody, even from within your group.
No? What's going on there? Well, of course. We all like to experience something a bit existential, and we're trying to explore, ourselves.
Oh, yes. Well, I must stay alert. And not trust anyone.
Not even yourself. Find a manager in hubris, greed and delusion in yourself you cannot trust.
Can you trust me, your greed?
You can never trust me, your delusions. You can only convince yourself and others of them. You must manage your greed, delusion and hubris without trust. Do not relax until they show you the money.
Yes. Show me the money. The money.
And it is all signed. Then you will have the money and the status.
Status. Yes. Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do and how I'm gonna do it.
Greed, delusion and hubris, go now. Back to mix with reality.
Yes. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it now. Doing it. Doing it now.
Oh, I think a little bit of alcohol doesn't go astray.
Performance enhancing or performance diminishing?
Oh, always enhancing. Always. Alcohol enhances everything, doesn't it? Am I wrong?
She's a little bit like drama queen. I have to say about that, because I think she should pay more attention about the content of art instead of the way she performs. It's really it's really about not about the poems. She should really focus on the content of the poem instead. Yeah.
She's very strange. I think a bit bitter. I would say she needs to cut back a bit. No, maybe poetry isn't for her. Maybe she'd be better if she stopped drinking. Yeah.
Yes, I don't know if that's part of the persona of what it means to be a poet, but day drinking every day, is that the point of being a poet? I thought it was to be expressive, to share ideas, to, be who we are. With day drinking, hey, if that's what they need to be creative, but I'm not seeing the creativity.
You mean in concept how famous I used to be?
You were in politics, weren't you?
No, I was not. I was on television. My namesake ran Britain.
Television?
Television. A medium you probably never even watch, you arty farty types.
Did you go?
But a lot of ordinary people watch television.
Did you ever go into op shops?
No, I wouldn't go. Sotheby's and Christie's, old boy.
Yeah.
I'm not an op shop kind of person unless it's for, you know, lingerie or something.
Organising and booking a venue hire, advertising to ensure that our potential public is aware that we are performing, a recital is going to be happening, those sorts of things. It's not the kind of thing that either of the other members of the collective have as a strong point.
Yes. Trotsky, you better get the door.
I'm getting there.
Hi, Trotsky. Let me see. Hi guys, I'm here to help.
Here to help, are we? Oh well, then help.
I thought I was invited.
Trotsky, she thought that she was invited.
Well,
might you enlighten us?
Maybe there's been a misunderstanding. I didn't realise. Look,
We need a published writer to assist us with getting our hands on at some good money and to help us write a merit-worthy application for the arts grant. And that's you.
Look, I'm getting a bit of a sense of. Okay, look, I'm going to wait outside. How about you guys work it out and. Best go. Okay.
all right. Yeah, just a few minutes. Thanks.
No worries. Okay.
She's not actually a member of the collective.
No, she's not.
And just to reiterate the earlier point, she's not actually a member of the collective.
That's why I'd like to move a motion to allow Mary to attend the meeting of the collective for the purposes of securing the arts grant that will benefit all of us.
I second that motion, so it's carried.
Well, I haven't
Moving
voted,
on.
and I haven't
To
spoken.
the hand. Secret drum.
The motion is carried 2-1. Who would like to speak for the inclusion?
Oh, I would. So, we need Mary to help us with this arts grant. She's a published writer.
Need to do.
We won't get any
Good
funding
to
without
have
her.
another woman involved.
Oh, the woman card.
Yes, that card.
That old chestnut.
May I continue?
Oh, well,
Her
no, that you would have
first
continued.
book sold 500 copies, apparently. And then her second book, apparently, that sold 1,000 copies.
Look, we all know that anyone that sells more than 200 copies is a sellout. Now, she is at best a kind of hobbyist poet. Poetry is a little bit of a hobby on the side when she isn't working, and, you know, mainstream success.
Her third book has won 3 awards. And it has 20 reviews.
You shouldn't put anything out into the world until it is perfect. If it is perfect, it will not attract criticism.
Look, we are so close to getting this arts grant. It's $90,000.
$90,000 is not even enough to pay wages.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money that we've already started spending.
Yes.
So, I
Ski boots.
would like to carry the motion that Mary can join our collective just so we can get her signature on the arts grant.
Good.
Do I have a seconder? That's carried.
Any objections?
Great.
Here we go again.
Secret having a meltdown. As if we haven't seen that before. What are we going to say, Thompson? Say it.
Let's just sort it out once he comes back.
Yeah, well, hopefully he'll come back soon. I've got things to do. I've got drinks at the pub. Oh, here he is now.
How can you tell?
Being over dramatic again.
I'm not being overly dramatic.
Are you okay?
Oh, am I okay? That old cliche. You two have turned on me. You turned your back's on me. You stabbed me in the back. You kicked me when I was down. You fed me vinegar when I was thirsty. Betrayal! Betrayal!
Ever thought about getting some help?
Labelling mental illness. We'll discuss that later.
I just wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be perfect.
You haven't even finished a poem, let alone a book.
But I don't want to put anything out that isn't perfect, so it doesn't attract criticism. That's the whole point. Don't rush. Don't rush.
Trust me, thought
I don't think anyone can sort that out. I'll go and grab Mary and see if she can.
Oh, please do. Because we're going to move forward on this application so we can get some money.
Oh, it shouldn't happen if it's not perfect. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen, but it's going to happen.
But we'll get bad reviews. What? We'll get bad reviews.
She's gone.
Ah, great. Well, thank you, Stuart.
Take the heat. Couldn't take the criticism. Oh, the sellout hobbyist goes to work. Oh, she's a fascist bitch.
He's right, actually. She just sent me a message. She said sorry, but she had to go. She got called into work. She's happy to help us with the application, but she doesn't care if we don't want to help. So.
Oh, she.
Typical sellout.
She's a sellout.
Yeah. But we do need
a sellout that can help us secure arts grant funding.
I really think we should get some help.
I don't think I'm very aware if it happens. I often don't have any memory. People tell me these things after the event, and I often don't recall the details until they tell me, and then maybe perhaps I have some vague recollection.
Oh my God, I think I may have made a mistake. Actually, I've always known that they're not really, what's the word?
We get on so well. I don't think we'll have a problem with any of that. Though some people can make the scene a little bit toxic. And
I don't know that they see me as a gopher.
They do, they said it. They've said it, yes.
Okay, interesting. A gopher.
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy that does the jobs nobody else wants to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think that's...
Is that confronting?
Frankly, yes.
okay. The sea creature is upset. I understand that. We upset him. I did think after 4 days he would have got over it, but here we are. So we need to make amends. We need to make this right. And we need his signature on the application. Hello? Knock knock, sea creature.
Respect my distance.
Yeah, sure.
I left the door unlocked so anyone can murder me because my life is already over.
Well, unfortunately they didn't murder
You killed me.
And I'm here to say, sea creature, that collective, we need you. Sea creature.
That is my name.
Yes. Well, we need you to sign this application.
No. You did not listen to Sea Creature's warnings about her.
We needed her signature on the application. I had to be nice to her.
Apparently.
When we get her signature, then we can let her go.
Can we?
Yes. I didn't want to involve you, Sea Creature, in case things went pear-shaped.
Oh.
But here we are.
You want me to sign it, don't you?
Yes, I do, Sea Creature.
Well, now I will. Let us start doing a budget, and I will sign. I will buy new shoes. I will get new shoes, and I will get a gaming mouse.
Sign the page.
And I will get a printer.
Sign the page, Sea Creature. I'm being nice. Great. Sign that page. Okay. And you need to sign this page as well. That's great.
I am not a sea creature. I am a human being.
Thanks, Sea Creature. Bye.
I drink to write. To be a writer, you have to drink. All the great artists drink.
So the parameters are that we
Parameters?
we produce a new work not previously published.
And we've got around 3 months to make it happen.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't think you understand how a collaborative collective actually works.
I'm here to help.
We are a collaborative collective,
Yeah.
and we don't appreciate you coming in here after 5 minutes.
Guys, I thought I was invited. I mean,
dictator.
Yes.
I'm here to help.
Mary is just explaining the guidelines that we need to qualify for the grant, you know,
Did
the
we ask
money
you to
that
come
we're
in?
trying to get.
Excuse me.
Look, I have written stuff. Yes, I have. But right now, what I've written, it'll be ready in 2 weeks. So I'm quite a long way ahead. You guys can read it.
Well,
But I've got
don't
something
bring
happening.
it to the collaborative collective meeting unless.
Have you
it's
guys got
perfect.
any ideas sorted out?
Ideas?
Anything?
Ideas?
Excuse me.
Oh, so I take it that's a no.
No, you bring your ideas.
Yeah.
And we'll bring our ideas.
And I am bringing my ideas because I've
collaborate.
actually done them. Have you guys actually done
Oh,
anything?
well, what about my book, Forgivable? Yeah. Well, there's a good bitch in a place. Forgivable Atrocities. It's a book told of natural disasters, but from the sympathetic portrayal of the people that
All right.
history
I'm
might
out of
turn
here.
against,
Look,
like the Titanic, for example.
Lovely to
the
see you.
people
I'll
that
catch
built
up with
that
you.
ship
And
would have
guys, get your
suffered
shit together.
Atrocities, you know.
No.
A
See ya.
sympathetic portrayal. Oh, again.
Bye.
Get your shit together.
We need her to qualify for the grant. End of.
I feel the violence of a power grab from the little man of the group.
The little man.
Very disappointing.
Little man.
Ugh, we'll have to go along with this idea of a plan.
I realise you might struggle a bit with reality.
But
there it is.
seriously,
In black and white.
I'd advise you and you not to get on the wrong side of me.
So, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. I know you have to get to work.
Yep.
Okay, we can keep going. It's all right.
All right,
Okay,
great.
all good. What do you think of all this?
Oh my god, I cannot get over it. I thought these guys were serious, you know. I thought they were going to make this happen, but it's so not happening. Look, $90,000 is a lot of money. You'd think they would have got their shit together by now. It's all attitude. I don't get it.
Do you think they're going to manage it?
Oh god, no. What a scream though. It's kind of funny, you know. It's like,
Now,
I don't know.
there's nothing to stop you
Yeah.
putting in your own proposal.
exactly. And that's what I'm thinking. I reckon I've got this one. I'd like to have Trotsky on board as well though. He's such an organised guy. He's a really sweet guy. You know?
Whatever you hand them, they're just going to stuff it up, aren't they?
Yeah, so you know what? I'm thinking about doing something for them which is actually a piece of shit. But they've so got it. They're so screwed up. They probably won't even notice that it's a piece of shit. But yeah, I've got some great stuff. I think it's great, and I'm getting some feedback from friends that there's potential. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All right. I've got to go. I really have to split.
Time is an aftermath. Time is inconsequential. I don't think in terms of time. I don't think in terms of deadlines. Deadlines and time are for the bourgeois.
Oh, my poetry. Let me think. What is it that I want to say about my poetry? I think for me, it's about having something I need to say and being able to say it in a way that reaches other people. I think, yeah, that's important to me.
Oh, I really don't want to say. It's not pretty. Her work, not pretty at all.
Why do you think so many people keep buying it and enjoying it?
Well, who would know? I mean, some people have no taste or class.
Would you see that you've finally got some hope in life?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. I think that is, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I'd really like to talk about my specialist subject today, which is antiques. As for poetry, Robert Burns, that's all I'll say to you. Now that was a poet. He's the...
Hello.
Come in.
Hey, hi Trotsky, how's it going?
Hi, good.
Yeah, nice one. Hi guys. Look, I know I've only got 3 months, so what I've done is I've started working on something already that we can put forth as a proposal. It's called Planet of the Cats, and yeah, I put a lot of work into that. It's first draft, remember, but it's a place to start. It'll get us going.
Post-pandemic.
Yeah, I thought
What's a pandemic?
Okay, maybe we talk about it later because I really have to be going. But
Typo.
I gotta go to work. Okay, it's
lots of typo.
Ready to follow me out?
Well, yeah.
To work.
Yeah.
I have to go too, guys.
All right.
Yeah, we'll look at this in a bit more detail.
Bye.
Later and
Catch
get
you
back
later.
to you.
Oh, do we really have to... Planet of the Cats. Do we really have to read this?
Many
Can you read it?
typos.
Can you read it?
Well, not right now, but...
You know, Planet of the Cats, this could be the best idea we've ever had. And I have those cat masks that I charged up to my mother's credit card that time, you know.
Good. That will make our proposal more credible.
Yes, and then we'll accuse her of copying us.
Exactly. Yes, we can submit something and then, you know, we'll just have a few adjustments and just a few adjustments and correct all of these typos. Submit it as our own and something that we've written maybe a couple of weeks beforehand.
Why should I be compared to the greats? And I say simply because I am as great as the greatest poet that there has ever been.
One thing I've noticed about these guys is they've got ideas, but they're not very good at making things happen. So I think that's why they've kind of got me there to give them a bit of a nudge.
Well, at this stage, you know, I'm open to all sorts of things. Since working with Mary, I've kind of changed my direction somewhat. It's been very refreshing to see how someone who is perhaps more functional than the other members that I've been working with for a while.
Okay, if we're talking of poetry, if I just threw out a couple of names, you know, just maybe we're looking at maybe Emily Dickinson or Sylvia Plath or even Elizabeth Bishop. You know, they're so 17th century, you know, there has-beens. You know, sometimes you just got to know when to let go and move on.
Who cares about poetry, really? It's about the same as antiques. Nobody cares about antiques anymore either. And nobody really cares about poetry. It's history now, isn't it?
Oh, look, I don't really need any of this shit.
Oh God, Mary's calling again.
Hi, how's it going?
So why are you calling, Mary?
I'm calling about the project. How's it going?
Oh, well, thanks for your input. We can't use it in its current format.
So thanks but no thanks, close but no cigar.
What?
Well, it's a bit rough, isn't it?
A lot of typos.
Yeah, and it's very opinionated.
Hey, wait a second. We wanted it quickly. I did it quickly, okay? That's why there's typos. So what about the typos?
Excuses. Too many excuses, Mary. We have a particular image and a standard that our peers expect, and you don't meet that.
Look, you failed. Arrange those words in a sentence, okay? Failed.
What are you going on about? What are you talking about?
Well, this is the collaborative collective, and there are a couple of producers, such as the creator and myself, and we've decided your work's a bit shit.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take it somewhere else. All right, no problems. I'll take my work somewhere else.
It doesn't quite work that way because the work created by the collective is the work of the collective.
And me? And me? Where do I fit in, guys?
Yeah, the arts administrator. Do the photocopying.
Like,
You need photocopying.
guys, when you talk about your work, meaning our work, but what? Wait a second. What have you done? What have you actually done?
Making this personal, are you? Well, how about a reality?
They do like, shut the fuck up.
Okay, so what did you just think of what they've just done there?
As in...
How they've just treated you?
Oh, God, it's rubbish. It's every time they do... It's like, I can't even say anything without them trying to cut me down. It's like... It doesn't make sense. Well, it does make sense. They're not very confident about their own work. Actually, they're bullshitters, so that's what bullshitters do. But it's just so blatant now. It's getting really blatant. And I'm like, oh, God, why am I doing this? Why are you doing this?
And Trotsky, are you a bit disappointed and hurt by this?
Yes. I mean, they've always been a bit self-serving and rough around the edges, and, you know, they can be a bit harsh, but I really wasn't expecting them to go where they've gone with this. This is just too much, even for them. I mean,
we've always known them; they're nasty. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Before this, I made allowances, and you know, I thought they had some talents and some things I wanted to work with them and try and learn from. But I think I've learnt that they're the kind of people I don't want to be around, basically.
Hello.
She's gone. Am I a writer? Am I a poet? Am I a guitarist? Am I a critic? I am most definitely a critic.
Well, the collective, as it is portrayed in the documentary, is a little bit different, slightly altered, completely altered.
The people who I observe, I'm giving constructive and meaningful feedback to. And if you want to be an artist and you want to put yourself out there and the work you create isn't ready and it's not perfect, you need to accept the feedback the world's going to give you.
I play a cat. They asked me to play a cat in their proposed play reading. Now, you could say this is a small part. No lines, just as they read the script, I'm walking on stage as a cat. So I thought, here I'm going to take playing a cat seriously. So I got this mask, and a very, very reasonable price, $30, and I locked myself in the room with nothing but a bit of milk, some hard cat food, and a big box of kitty litter.
The potential and pathways that are open to someone who's open to collaboration, because that's...
Oh my goodness.
I've written a lot of stuff, but to put it bluntly, I don't think the editors understood how good it was. I don't really think they had the perspicacity. Now there's a word for you.
What does that mean?
They were stupid.
Thank you. We are a collaborative collective here, and we have our pitch for you, Planet of the Cats. I'm sure we will. Let me take you on a journey to a place you
Sea creature!
never seen. Not a very friendly place. More a nightmare than a dream.
Sea creature!
One day, 4 astronauts took off into space, and they left the planet Earth to another place.
I am sea creature.
But their spaceship, it went into a time warp 4,000 years from now, and when it crashed into a lake. It took water on the bow, and then they trekked across a strange land. Only three who survived. The female astronaut, she didn't make the cut. She even saw humans, and they were farming, and it was a very optimistic sight. And these humans couldn't talk. They just farmed and they did their best. And they thought, had this spaceship landed in the Midwest? And then an army came towards them with guns and whiskers and a big meow. Meow, 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 meow. This is a planet of the cats. And one shot Taylor, and he went, ow. He didn't say meow. He went,
sea creature.
Speak. He couldn't speak.
I am sea creature.
Here, the only things that spoke had whiskers and went meow. But one cat prodded him a little bit too roughy, and he said to the cat, "Get your claws out of me, you dirty great big pussy." And when they got away, they shouted, "You won't like what you find!" running away. So they ran and they trekked across the beach, and then they saw something in the distance, but they couldn't really see. Something came into view, but they didn't have a clue, and they saw on the beach, this is the big crescendo part here, climax, they saw there was the Statue of Liberty. Statue of Liberty. And then Taylor, he saw and he knew, and he collapsed. Collapsed weeping.
Sea creature.
He collapsed. It was weeping. You maniacs! You have destroyed us all. That's the end.
Planet of cats. It's a planet in another dimension. In this dimension, the cats speak and the humans have the speak, dancing to make it seem more relevant to the kids.
very, very unfair.
What do you mean unfair?
You said we needed to submit something else.
No, I thought that meant we were successful. Surely he meant we were successful.
Well, why would he say that? If he said we needed to submit something else.
Oh yeah, but
on top of,
he was
because he thought it was so good.
He was very impressed. I mean, sometimes you can just be too good for these things, where you just do something that's just so exceptionally better. It's like when I did jazz ballet as a child, and my mum said I had to stop going to the classes because the other kids were jealous of me because I was just so good. And I think it's a kind of a jazz ballet sort of situation. But now I'm an adult.
It wasn't a rejection. I wouldn't call it a rejection. No, it was maybe a misunderstanding.
In reflection, I'm glad my part involved having a cat mask on. That's all I'll say.
3. Hello, shithead, he said. 4. Hello, asshole, I replied. 5. Was it suicide? Said Howie. 6. Accidental overdose. All right, it's going to be massive. It's going to be amazing. It's just because we don't have the others holding us back anymore, so we can come up with ideas, new ideas, bigger ideas, better ideas, and that will get the money.
I'm a fan.
This is the best thing that could have possibly happened. This is the greatest thing. From crisis comes opportunity.
I like that. I'm going to write that down.
Crisis equals opportunity. And that would make a great poetry title.
Oh, absolutely.
So what I'm thinking is that we, let's face it, the money is in children's entertainment. That's where the money is.
There's money, lots of money in children.
And we should be exploiting the children.
Exactly.
Exploiting the children.
Same page.
So here's my idea. Now,
children. Can we get animals in there as well?
Yeah,
It's
children
just as a
and
sideline.
animals. So modern poems for modern children, and we come up with, people really patronise the kids and they get very politically incorrect. But what we're going to do is we'll take all the famous fairy tales like Jack and the Beanstalk, Cinderella, Little Red Riding Hood, and we'll rewrite them in the form of really edgy poetry pitched at the kids. And then we'll go into the schools and we'll perform them, and we'll just be raking in the cash. So we'll get the grant money, but then we'll become beloved children's entertainers in the school system, which I think will work.
Okay, we'll run with that. That sounds great.
Now, if I can butt in at this point, your submission is in 26 hours' time where you perform this. Are you getting a bit anxious or nervous?
Oh, no, we'll write the poems
We've got
tonight.
notes. We've got plenty of notes.
Yeah, so we've got
lots of notes.
And let's just riff on ideas. So if I was a teacher, I'd be booking that act. We get on the phone, we'll get so much work from this.
Stable geniuses.
Good luck.
We don't need luck. That there are people out there that are just think that the earth isn't flat.
Fascinating. That's fascinating. That's true.
No, you're clearly, that's why I don't want to go into this stuff, because, the science, I mean, at the end of the day, when you look out into the distance, can you honestly say you've ever seen curvature? Have you ever seen curvature as you look out to the horizon?
Oh my goodness me, what an idiot. How can you say that kind of thing?
Oh, I like the dark colours. The darker the better, really. With maybe a tinge of red.
And I notice you guys do wear a lot of black. Is it black the new black?
It's always been the new black. Black is the new black.
Well, I think the inspiration for a lot of my poetry came following the death of my father.
Okay.
When I say the death of my father is still living, but it was more a death of his soul, in that he sold out his visions, his hopes and his aspirations to follow a political path.
Oh, the sound of $90,000 calling. Hello?
Ah, yes, hello.
Who is this?
I am the new District Arts Development Officer.
Wait, really? Where's Danny?
Danny's having a bit of a break.
Well, we have been dealing with Danny, but
Yeah, he's very professional.
he is.
Very organised.
Anyway, how is our proposal
Yes.
for Planet of the Cats going?
Yes.
Do you need anything else from us?
Well, that one, the one that arrived 3 minutes before the deadline, was that all your own work?
Oh, absolutely. It was I cannot assure you, it was the work of the entire collective.
It was our work entirely.
I see. And who is the collective?
The collective, a collaborative collective, is Sea Creature and myself.
That's right. Just the two of you.
Just the two of you. What happened to the successful artist Mary Shell? Her signature you used to qualify?
Not really a team player, was she?
She wasn't a team player,
No,
so
you
we
do.
don't want her in our collective collaborative. So what do you think of our manuscript?
Well,
Really?
I just wanted to thank you both for all of the work you obviously put into
Well, thank you, yes.
Lots
You know,
of
it's
work, a lot.
a lot of work. Yes.
We had to make a decision, and we have just allocated this particular grant to Mary Shell and Foxy. They put in a fantastic proposal backed by a book of poems.
What? You can't do that.
Yes, we
Our
can.
Oh my God.
work. She's stolen our work.
Our work.
No way. I stayed right away from your work. I think they finally get it. They finally get it.
Doubt that very much. You can't do that.
Take a deep breath, Sea Creature.
The
Deep breath.
mentoring we did for her and Trotsky.
Thank you so
Exactly,
much
that
for that
grant is
mentoring.
ours.
It
The
meant so
collective.
much to me, really.
Collaborative collective.
Haven't you read her shit online reviews I've been writing? They're all, everything she's shit. I know,
So
I've
that's
got
where they're
the
coming
reviews.
from.
It's not perfect, and there's a bit of work, but it's much less imperfect than your proposal.
Perfect.
Your proposal has anything to do with yours. Well, I've got
Look,
a better
you,
time.
you be careful. You might find you have your door handle ripped off your car.
Yes. I think you really need to reconsider your position.
Unless you want to have a big parcel of dog shit like that.
We have contacts. I have contacts.
If you could sum it up in one word or slogan, what would it be?
Fraudulent.
If you could sum it up in another word or slogan, what would you use?
Obscure.
And if you had to, if your life depended on giving us another word to sum it up, what would it be?
Uncomfortable.
Okay. And any words you'd add to uncomfortable?
Egotistical.
Any gestures that would go along with those poets? Sea Creature, let's give us a gesture or an expression, a reaction.
Sorry, is that too much?
Sea Creature, well.
Will you work with him again?
No. Sea Creature. But where do I start? Well, he's a total sociopath and a psychopath, really. He should be monitored, I think.
I will. I don't know that I'll always perform poetry. I don't think it's an avenue that I'll pursue in terms of getting out there and being in front of a crowd or in front of a camera or doing anything like this again.
I said, pensively, 7. St. Peter is waiting to meet me, he explained, due to an zealous administration oversight. I would be going to canine hell.
There is a history of typecasting here. The guy who played Humphrey V. Bear and the guy who played Fat Cat, or assuming there was just one, I heard stories that they'd go up to parties full of actors and celebs, and they would say, and what do you do? And they would say, well, I'm Humphrey B. Bear.
We are serious poets, serious artists. We take it seriously.
What's your favourite antique?
A Roman mosaic. I bought it in a junction, a Roman mosaic that I bought in a rather inferior quality shop that I found one day lying on the floor.
What's your least favourite genre of antique, subgenre?
Heavy pianos.
Heavy pianos.
Iron pianos are really my least favourite.
Yeah.
On account of I've lost a couple of good friends who've been killed by them.
Meow, meow, meow. Testing. Meow.
Yeah.
Darling, it was just so much money in television. You know, when I got into, first of all, I was in with Ray Martin. You know, Current Affair, that was me, with Ray Martin. I never actually met him until I was in a pub.
Anyway, if we're talking about Australian poets, I'm an Australian poet. Okay, let's go there. You've brought me to that point. So, okay, if I think of Mary Gilmore, for example, I could compare myself to Mary Gilmore. I mean, who cares if you're on the $10 note, you know? Who cares if you're an advocate for social and economic reforms? I mean, that's so passé. Nobody cares about that anymore.
It will go on my reel for NIDA and the West Australian Academy. I'm also looking at post-pandemic options at the Sorbonne. But, you know, as they say in footy cliches, we're playing it week by week and day by day, game by game.
Okay. So you saw the politics as a pure thing rather than as an aspect of who I was. Looking back now on the changes that I've seen and experienced in the time that I've been involved in the project, it was more of a facade, a mask, a scaffolding where I was trying to find a way to lash out, to break, to sort of, and ironically, a way of breaking free by snubbing my nose at my father and his political aspirations. It wasn't part of who I was, it was more of who I wasn't. It's certainly been eye-opening.
I just hope that there's enough of me in there, because I think the public are going to want to see me as the main performer, as probably the best known of the poets coming into this. I think I needs to be edited, and no doubt it will be, because my scenes are
Fucking
the best.
shut up.
What?
Just shut up. Oh
rude.
God, I'm so over
We're
your
talking
shit.
about our feelings, Mary.
Yeah, but it's all about
I don't
it is all
believe
about you.
I don't believe I've finished.
Had enough.
Okay, I've finished.
Mary, Sea Creature is talking. Sea Creature.
I've finished.
Is there animosity within this grouping now?
I've got nothing to say.
I think that's pretty obvious, don't you think?
And what are the sources of this animosity?
Some people aren't talented.
Some people get grants.
Sorry, Yoko, did you say?
Some people end up doing all the work and find out that they're not appreciated for it.
Oh, you want to talk about that, do you? You want to
Why
talk
not?
about work?
Why not?
Do you, Trotsky?
There are winners and there are losers.
Trotsky, could you elaborate a bit on what you're talking about?
Well, you know.
I'll just shut you down then, Trotsky.
Absolutely.
Let him talk, secretary.
I think that...
Excuse me, Mary.
No, I'm very interested to hear what he has
Well, I think
to
in
say.
essence that's the problem. You know, are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution?
I can't say that anyone would be thrilled to find how lowly they are held in the regards of their compatriots. I've been a member of this collective for how long now?
Too long.
Right. And they called you a gopher. How do you feel about that?
Trotsky, we've looked after you, we've given you some opportunity.
You were nothing before we came along. What were you? Son of a senator, miserable, sad, pathetic.
Leave him alone.
Oh, Mary's trying to take over this place.
We gave you a life. We introduced you to our people, made you part of our gang. And how did you repay us? By stabbing us in the back. Betrayal.
Advertising the gigs, by booking the venues, by setting them
Trotsky,
up.
the irony that I am the one with the ice.
I
am talking! And you I can talk over the top of you. I can just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. I can keep talking and talking and talking. I can just go on. I can go on and on and on and talk over the top of anyone, and I'll just keep fucking talking over the top of anyone!
Go on, have your little meltdown.
Good work, Trotsky. You've upset me.
3, 2, 1.
There's no anger, is there, sea creature? I'm not angry. I just have high standards. Is there anything wrong with having a high standard?
And the work was the work of the collective, and I think essentially she doesn't understand that the art of collaboration is to collaborate, to share. You know, if I...
It helps to have talent.
Sea creatures.
Does it?
So, are any of you still friends?
Any of us? Well,
Trotsky, you're a good
if
bloke.
you ever were.
Mary and I are working on a couple of projects at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Are you?
Yep.
Well, that's news to me.
There are no friends in the
I
arts.
have branched out and doing other different wonderful things, and I'm collaborating now with a muso friend, and he plays some music while I read poetry and do some interpretive dance, and we're applying for some arts grant funding.
And I've come up with my new idea, an idea that I have come up with. It's my own original idea, Planet of the Iguanas. On this version, very different, because instead of cats, we'll be doing it with iguanas, and instead of being on a planet, it'll be on the edge of a volcano. But we're going to reconstruct Mount Vesuvius, and
If you could all sum up this whole process, each in one word or one term or short slogan, what would it be? Starting with Mary.
Painful. I reckon.
Pass.
It's a change is painful, but sometimes necessary.
ethical. I am ethical.
Collaborative.
Vision.
Cats.
You got a point there, Trotsky.
To sum up this whole experience, cathartic.
That when I finish a collection of poetry, it will be as great as any collection of poetry that has ever been published, and as important.
And another word?
Another word. Serendipitous.
Look, I think one of my strengths is if you're going to start something, start it.
What about another word?
Liberating.
O poem, a story to be told. I share my peace. I disrupt the peace. Our work here is done. I just wrote that recently. I thought it was very powerful. I had to share it.
And if you couldn't use any of these words, what would be another word?
Oh, surely that's enough now. I'm rather busy, you know. I've got people to see. things to do.
Thank you for your time.
I should think so too. Goodbye.
If, say, they make a sequel of the film Cats, well, I'm ready.
Goldfish in your glass prison. You are a contradiction, for you are at once trapped, encaptured, and yet you are free. Trapped within the confines of the brittle bauble that is your entire world, yet you are free. In the clarity of the crystal clear water, free to swim, free from stress and worry, free from entrapment of the ego, of the mind, of higher thinking suffered by the human race. Or even if you were to develop fears, or doubts, or worries, 3 seconds later, it is forgotten. You are free. Thank you.
I'm writing this to say goodbye. If you wonder now, you know why. The lies about me made me cry. Lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. I loved you once, as you know. I don't want to hate, had to let go. You can't say sorry, refuse to grow. You get no more chances, this must be so. Which lie is it this time? Which lie? Which lie? This time. Which lie is it this time? You carried on like there was something there. Crying wolf I couldn't bear. Which one was I? It's just not fair. And when it suits you, you're just not all there. Someone else you pull a face, while you put it about all over the place. But when it suits you, this truth you erase. Which lie? Which lie? Which lie? Which lie is it this time? Which lie? Which lie? This time. Which lie is it this time? This time. Which lie? This time. Are you happy with what you do? You scare good people away from you, hurting others that love you too. I'll take my chances elsewhere, so we're through. Which lie? Which lie? Which lie? Which lie is it this time? Which lie? Which lie? This time. Which lie is it this time? Which lie? This time. Which lie is it this time? Which lie? Which lie? This time. Which lie is it this time?